Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all a very quick update on Bitcoin. Right now we're at $5,700. We're down 1.2%. What we're going to do, we're going to go through a few key indicators, some of the things that I'm seeing right now. We're coming up on some very tough overhead resistance now, and that's what I really wanted to dig into here, guys. So I'm going to give you some of my targets to the upside, the downside. We're going to look at both sides of this. So if you like what we do here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you being here with me today, guys. Happy Sunday, and we'll get into this. So first of all, I want to tell you, I am excited about where we're at in Bitcoin. What we've been holding now for about 4 months, we've been having these higher lows, and you can see right here, guys, this is this big fall that we had right here where we lost about 50% there. Then we came back up here, we set our higher low here. We were having some higher lows, higher low as well here from this area, and now we're trying to push back up through, and what we're trying to get through here is $5,785 is going to be an area right there. And what that is, guys, this bottom of this area that we had this descending triangle that we were looking at for so long here. This descending triangle, we had lower highs, and then we had this flat bottom around 6,000. That's what I want to step back and show to you here. So if we step back, you're seeing each time we hit it here, we hit it over here, we basically came close here. What happened was, guys, we ended up breaking down through from the power from these lower highs. Eventually this support just broke, but the fact that we had this $6,000 support for so long, that means that it could be very hard overhead resistance. Am I saying that it has to be a spot where we're stuck at for a long time? I'm not saying that, because a whale could step in and we could cut through this no problem. I mean, truly, guys, if we got some serious volume come back in, you know, even one of these $1,000 candles through that, where we finally break up through here and then come back and consolidate upon that, that would be a thing of beauty. But just looking at it from technical analysis, you would assume, by studying all the textbooks and everything we've been looking at, that this would be a very, very strong spot for a lot of overhead resistance. So I want you to just be aware of that. All right, in my opinion, there's more of a probability that we could have some type of a pullback to even test that $5,500 range. And this is where I want to show you, because we actually broke up through this. And what you want to see is for us to consolidate on that. So we made it higher than this high here. We pushed up to this area that I had, that 5,785. And then what we would want to see is us to come back onto this area if we were to have this slight pullback to 55, 52 or so, and consolidate upon that. Now, if we don't consolidate upon that and find support there, what I would look down to next is this 30 EMA. This has been so good for us. This 30 EMA, we've been getting a bounce off, and it's been acting as support all the way since February 8th, 2019, guys. So this is something that I would definitely keep in mind to see if we're going to get a bounce off that if we do start falling to the downside. And that's going to be at $5,189 is where I would look. And then the next stop would be that 50 moving average, then obviously the 200-day moving average, which we really truly haven't back tested yet properly, in my opinion. Do we have to back test it? No, but it would be healthy. We cut through this 200-day moving average right here with a $1,000 candle. And guys, a lot of the times that's not very healthy. Just like even over here, how we were having these monstrous falls here, it's getting made up on the backside now. So whenever you have things that go straight up like that, it's hard because you don't build any really support or resistance, anything like that. So it can just be made up on the backside that quickly. So anywhere from this 30 to this 50 to this 200, that's what I would want to see hold. Now, if we fell back below that 200-day moving average and that started acting as overhead resistance, then guys, we could probably fall pretty fast, and we may come down here and try to test to see if we could put in a double bottom. But that's far away right now. That's just looking more long term. I'm just showing you downward targets where I would be looking if that was the case. Okay, now to the upside, what we would be looking for if we do break through this, I would look probably around that $6,000 to $6,500 range, right in there, to see what we end up doing with it. Those would be my upside targets. If this here, we just have that slight pullback onto that 5,500 or so, we consolidate there, then make another move up. And this was basically some type of a flag pattern there, like a bull flag type pattern there, where we just ended up breaking to the upside. But right now, what you would typically want to do, you would want to extrapolate this here and then add it to the upside breakout there. So our target basically would be somewhere up around this $6,500 range if we were to take this here. I'm not going to do that right now, guys, but I'm just giving you a rough estimate. It would be up around in here, and that would also coincide with all this overhead resistance and mess and chunk that we have over here. So that's what I'm just saying. I feel like, you know, Could a big whale step in? Absolutely, and that's part of it. But in terms of the health of Bitcoin, we would probably want to see some type of pullback even to that 5,500 or maybe down to that 30 EMA. Test that again around 51.89, which would be great. That'd still be very bullish in my opinion right now. But, you know, guys, we've been in this, you know, intermediate term bullish uptrend here. We're just trying to change that trend. You see this, how we were just having those lower highs and lower lows, and then we started to have that switch and we were having those higher highs and higher lows. Now what we're looking for, you know, guys, we're looking to see ourselves dig out of this, and right now it's beautiful because we're up above all the moving averages. Over here they're acting as overhead resistance, and now they're all acting as support, and we're getting all those beautiful golden crosses, the 50 over the 200-day moving average. Looks like the 100 here in green wants to, you know, eventually here try to get over that and have another golden cross. So that's something we'd have to look at, see if that pushes us to the upside or if we just get a little kiss off that and we start falling down to the downside. So be aware of that. Also, guys, our volume here, you can see our profile. If we drew a trend line on that, it's just kind of going down a little bit, but we did get a nice little amount of volume here that came in, which was good, and that was us defending this 30-day EMA. Like I said, it's very important. The 20-day EMA and the 30-day EMA are very important. The next thing I wanted to get into here, and this is just going to show a little bit more on the bearish case I'm going to show you here. For just a slight pullback is what I'm talking about, guys, or a little bit more retracement. So on the RSI, what you're having is bearish divergence. So price is going up right here, but our relative strength has actually been going down. And what I like to do is draw the trend lines, as you guys know, do just like a rough little trend line there, and we'll have to see if we get a break out of that or if this just continues to act as overhead resistance right there and we set lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so that's the divergence. Whenever price is going up, your price is increasing, but your relative strength is going down. And we're also at 69, and remember, in traditional markets, 70 is overbought. That's when a lot of times, you know, in the traditional stock market, guys will say, okay, I'll let go of something, or a lot of people aren't really going to buy in around that 70, but cryptocurrency is different. Remember, we can go up, and we've been in the 90s, 95s before, so that's definitely possible. And we've been as low as, let's see, when we had this massive fall, guys, we came all the way down to a 7 on the RSI. Think about that. That's how overextended this market can get to the upside and the downside. And that's why I said I'm not the guy to rub the crystal ball for you, because no one can predict this market. I'm going to show you my upside projections, my downside projections, my sideways projections, and I'm going to have a plan ready for both sides, and I'm going to have alarm set, and I'm going to pay attention to what's going on. So if I get an alarm to the upside, we have a nice break here through, guys, this 57.85. We get a nice break. We definitely could run up to 6,000 or more. So I'd set an alarm right up in here, and what I'll do, I'll right click just to show you if you guys haven't done this. So I'll right click, I'll add alert right there, we'll create it, and then I'll do one to the downside here as well for you, just like this. So if it goes below that, I'll want to be notified as well. So that's if you're watching a movie, guys, you're working out, you're driving, whatever, you'll get an alert on your cell phone saying that we're going up above or down below, and then you can make a move. So that's what I like to do. I like to put those alarms on, especially in a tight range like where we're at right now, where anything really could happen. We're waiting for that either push up here, guys, or another back test down. So we're just paying close attention. Next thing that I wanted to look at here was the NVT. This is one specific for the blockchain. It's a very good one. I've been doing some studying on it. All right. So with this one, guys, anything over 150, you're going to be overbought. So right now we're at 163 and 159. Do you see those numbers right up in here? Okay, so I'm going to pull that down. That's our numbers there. So we're over that 150. And also what we had here was a little bit of a trend line break on this. Let me show this to you. And remember, these things also can get overextended. So we'll just do a rough trend line here, guys, about to right there, and what you can see is that we're actually kind of pulling back onto it right now, and that's traditionally what you will have with trend lines a lot of the times. Let me see if I can extend this a little bit more. Okay, so right there, what happened was we've been up here, we've been traveling, this is overbought, we ended up breaking down through this trend line here. We came down, guys, to around that 148 or so, and then we came back up, and we're back testing this trend line. And sometimes what you do, you'll back test this, and then you can actually have a farther fall down. That's one possibility. Another possibility is that we actually get back up in here and we start traveling up even a little bit higher. But we're just getting so overextended on the NVT. I want you to pay attention to that. And we have had that trend line break. Remember, with those, we can have the pullbacks onto it, and then it can be a deeper fall. So I do want you to be aware of that, okay? So that's another one that is more so. So with the RSI, that divergence up around 70, and then the NVT, those are a little bit more bearish. Like I said, crypto can get overextended, but traditionally you really wouldn't want to go buying into that right now, especially with the most resistance we've had overhead in Bitcoin's history right now. So could we get lucky and have a big whale step in? Absolutely, and we could move to the upside. I'm not counting that out, but I wanted to bring these things and put them on your radar that we are having some bearish indicators as well, saying that it may be time for a slight correction to see if we can power up to get up over top of this, guys, because we really do. Even back testing down here around this 30 and then finding good support off that with some good volume that looks even sexier than that right there, that would be a great thing as well. So just kind of have those alarms set. Right now, guys, my alarms are at 6,001, and then my other alarm is at 5,599, and I want to be alerted on those to see what's going on, just so I can get to my computer and see which way we're going to break. And then I want to do the MACD quick for us. And on the MACD, we're starting to get a little bit where we have had that bullish cross right here. So we've been bouncing off, guys. We had a bearish cross here. We came up. We tried again. We failed. We got that nice hook. We actually crossed up above. We're moving up right now. The histogram is moving up. We did get that cross, but we would want to see some good power. We're not getting a ton of volume with that cross right now. Do you see? So we got to pay attention, because sometimes, right, like in here, guys, you can just kiss back and forth. You can go up above, then below, and back and forth and below, and that's what could happen here. We could kind of travel a little bit like this, so that may be our sideways movement, where maybe we just consolidate here, move sideways for a while, and then make another move to the upside. That's always a possibility as well. So, guys, these are things that I'm looking at right now. Last thing I'll throw on here is the Fibonacci, and then I'll let you go. And we'll just do a rough Fibonacci there. And we're also at that 0.786, where we're also having some overhead resistance there. So keep that in mind, my friends. Wanted to bring this to you. Hope you enjoy these. Have a wonderful Sunday. If you like what we do here, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's a pleasure to be here with you. God bless each and every one of you.